Hey, you're married, right?
Yes.
My
No,
uncle.
no, you don't count. 恭喜恭喜
恭喜发财，恭喜
发财！
发财，新年快乐！
It is coming to the Chinese New Year tomorrow, and we're going to get to some Chinese New Year films. Woo!
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Hello there, Clapperheads. Hello there, Clapperheads, and welcome to a brand new edition of ClapperTalks.
His name is Nick Dorian.
And this is Kelvin Tay. Who's this?
Ditto. Oh yeah, hold on.
Poor Blinky, man. Blinky looks like he's been abandoned. Just sitting in a corner like, did you forget about me?
Okay.
You got a new
they're here,
Pokemon.
blocking signs.
Yeah, thanks. The important details of the show.
Okay, Blinky will just be here.
But, no. Don't fall, Blinky. Oh God, don't fall.
Okay.
There we go.
It's fine.
But it's quite apt that you bring out Blinky because
He's on.
he's very on.
He's very on.
Very
He's
on.
red.
And
He's red.
speaking of on, yes, we're getting into some Chinese New Year films.
Not something I'm excited for because I never knew this was a thing.
Hey.
But I do have a couple of films that I felt would be ideal. I wouldn't say perfect, but ideal for a family reunion good time.
Okay, so just to get into some context, if you don't know what Chinese New Year films are, these are films that usually come out of Hong Kong that come out during the Chinese New Year period, be it before Chinese New Year or after or during. So between that month of Chinese New Year, these kinds of films will come out. Things that are very over the top, fun, slapstick, just an all-around good time for the family members. It can be quite cringy at times, some films.
Some of them can be quite cringy, but
some of them tend to remove themselves from that Chinese New Year formula and deliver a film that is like, oh, damn, this is a good Chinese New Year films. Now, these are usually categorized by the times they come out. So if it's during the Chinese New Year period, it's ultimately a Chinese New Year film, regardless. Same thing with Raya films. Actually,
Christmas films
as well, but my wife recently brought up something that I was like, oh yeah, because I brought up
that's your Chinese coming out.
Yeah, that's my Chinese coming out. It always comes out from now and then. Go away! But we were recently watching a Chinese New Year film, one of the many that I had to go for, and she was like, macam like drama Melayu, and I went, oh my God.
Really?
During Raya, those Raya films is always over the top, things like Kampung Zombie Kampung Pisang, things like that. Over the top, slapstick, funny, and always about family, love, and heart. And I'm like, oh yeah, Raya films and Chinese New Year films are very similar. It's all about the culture, the tradition, the family, and just having a good time. But these in particular, at least on my list, are sort of like alternate Chinese New Year films.
Okay.
That a few are synonymous with Chinese New Year.
Okay, the films on my list, I wouldn't say meticulous, but I have carefully selected them.
Okay.
Because when I think of Chinese New Year, I think of family, I think of reunion, I think of happiness.
Yes.
So I have excluded films with like sex, gore, obscene languages.
Yeah.
It's 100% a feel-good time. So how I selected my list is basically how I would watch Christmas films, but with my Chinese family.
Faham?
Right? I say like I got a non-Chinese family, but with my family.
Yes.
Yeah. Right? What's your first film?
Okay, my first film, it's quite a different version of the famous tale of Journey to the West.
Okay.
It's called The Chinese Odyssey. Now, it came out with part 1 and part 2. Part 1 came out the beginning of the Chinese New Year that year, and part 2 came out near the tail end of that season. And it's a Stephen Chow film. It's one of his early films. And it's a very different take to that classic tale. It's a bit dark. There's some sarcastic humor in it. It's funny. It's hilarious. But again, it can be a bit dark for viewers and a bit vulgar as well.
Just looking at the screen caps of the film itself. Okay, so Chinese Odyssey is a 2-part 1995 Hong Kong fantasy comedy film. All right. Just looking at the screen cap itself, I would say it's a very 90s film. It's a very OG Chow Yun-fat film.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, it's not Chow Yun-fat, it's Chow Xing-xi. Stephen Chow.
Chow Xing-chi. Oh yeah, Chow Yun-fat is the singer.
No, Chow Yun-fat is the famous actor, you dummy.
I don't know my Chinese.
My God, how do you not know Chow Yun-fat?
I'm not good with names.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Learning more and more things every day.
Yeah. It's a very OG 90s Zhao Xingqi film.
Yes, and also starred Maggie Cheung and of course the late great Leslie Cheung as well.
FYI, Zhao Xingqi is Stephen
Chow for the
yeah.
Western side.
Yeah.
You know him, of course, Kung Fu Hustle, Shaolin Soccer, but before that, he was a Hong Kong superstar at that point.
Yeah.
He was basically Hong Kong's Jim Carrey.
That's
what he was.
Exactly that, yes.
Yeah. Now, what's your first film?
My first film is a Singaporean film.
Okay.
All right. It's called A Boy to Men.
Oh, okay.
Right?
You know how to spinning a soldier! Come on, faster!
Gentlemen, this prosperous nation is not by chance. It is because of what you are wearing right now.
It's, again, when
Forgive my disappointed look, but okay, Our Boys to Men.
Directed by Jack Neo, this film came out in... oh, excuse me. Oh my God.
No worries.
Sorry. This film came out in 2012. Again, it's a Singaporean film. Reason why I picked this is because I watched this when I was younger with my cousins and all. Okay. I feel like in a family setting, definitely one of the better shows to pick compared to, you know, the other shows.
Yeah.
I picked Up Boys to Men. You know, it's a very classic Singaporean comedy, coming of age film, right? Because they have NS and Up Boys to Men is, as the title say, you know, they went from boys to men.
Yeah.
In a very Singaporean style, right? So this one follows the story of a number of inglorious, I couldn't say bastards. Cadets, inglorious cadets.
Yes.
Where they went to NS and it's a coming of age. They're learning each other. They're getting to know each other, making friends, and then throughout the whole perils of NS, it's just a very feel-good time, in my opinion.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, definitely highly recommend this during a family setting.
Yes. And also, this is a franchise that will never die.
Yeah.
There's been spin-offs.
This is Fast and Furious Singapore, basically.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Chow Yun-fat earlier, a person you don't know, God of Gamblers. Now, God of Gamblers, I think for Chinese people, this is one of the most famous Chinese New Year films. God of Gamblers was a film that spawned many sequels and is synonymous with the season. It essentially follows a legendary gambler with extraordinary skills, played by Chow Yun-fat, who becomes entangled in a high-stakes adventure after losing his memory in this iconic, and I mean iconic, Hong Kong film. It's got a lot of action, it's got a lot of comedy, it's got a lot of suave because of course Chow Yun-fat is there, and high-stakes gambling sequences. You hold your breath going, oh no, yes, he won, like things like that. But yeah, God of Gamblers is one of the quintessential, in my opinion, Chinese New Year films, alongside, which I will not mention, All's Well, Ends Well. That is a film that, now that is an Our Boys to Men. It's the franchise that will never die. All's Well, Ends Well, which started with Zhao Xingqi, Leslie Cheung, I think one more actress, I can't remember who her name is, but that was the start of it, and I think we've had it ever since. Every Chinese New Year, there's an All's Well, Ends Well, 2025, 32, I don't know. Yeah.
God of Gamblers came out in 1989.
Yeah.
Damn. Were you born then?
Yes, I was 2 years old.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't watch this when I was 2.
The next film I have in my list is a very recent film, actually, 2024. It's a Chinese movie called Upstream.
Okay.
I don't know if you watched this before.
Yo, 什么素质啊？活该是我们啊！
哦，李点，打了不我
吹什么啊？你吹什么吹？
前台不收完，我找不到家了。
哎，你说的话我听不懂。
你这帮畜生！
面对客户啊，要始终保持微笑，不是假笑，更不是皮笑肉不笑。
Oh, this looks like a sweet film.
Okay.
Okay.
Upstream. Okay, so on the back of the box, Upstream is an incredibly touching portrayal of the harsh realities faced by delivery riders in China. One of the most moving films of the year, which is last year, right? I chanced upon this, I would say, about last month.
Okay.
End of the year. End of the year, me and my family, we were just sitting around having a meal, and we usually watch TV. And I opened this on Netflix. I was like, okay, this looks like a sweet film, like you say. Oh boy, it's a very realistic film.
Okay.
It shows you, the harsh realities of a father, a man, the breadwinner of the house, and then what happens if he loses his job. So the main character that we follow, his name is Xu Zheng. Not really known. It's a mainland actor. He has a very fancy, cushy IT job, and then he got fired. And then because he's like 40 plus years old, no one will hire him.
Okay.
So he has to take care of his dad, his mom, his wife, and his daughter. And what did he do? He turned into a delivery rider. I feel like this film is a very nice appreciation story for delivery riders in general.
Yes.
Right? Because on the consumer end, what we do is we go on the app, we click on what we want to eat, and we wait, right?
Yes.
You get like an infographic of like, where's your food, is it on the way? But you don't see the behind the scenes of like the steps the rider have to go through to get you the food, right? And I feel like this is a very, very nice family film. Not just a CNY film, but just a family film in general. Ratings not that well. It's like 7 out of 10 on
That's not too bad. Yeah.
IMDb. Oh, it actually improved. The last I checked was like 6 points something. 96% of Google user liked it. So this movie is called Upstream. There is a Chinese name for it, which is I cannot pronounce.
Upstream.
No, it's Journey of Life.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Upstream 2024. Watch it with your family. This is a night film. Chances of you crying is a bit, right?
Okay. I have been warned. You all have been warned.
Yeah.
Now, my last film was a very tough decision because there's two films in particular that I really love watching during Chinese New Year. One of them is Fat Toy Spirit, which is Andy Lau, Louis Koo, and Lau Qingwan.
Okay.
It's a fun time. It's got, again, mahjong, because, of course, Chinese New Year mahjong. And it basically follows, it follows this charismatic mahjong master whose life revolves around the game, but then his gambling obsession often leads to trouble. After a series of misfortunes, including relationship woes with his ex-girlfriend and clashes with his dysfunctional family, he must navigate through personal and professional chaos to regain his luck and spirit. It's hilarious, it's heartwarming, and it's an all-around good time. It's one of the perfect Chinese New Year films without going to that cringy point.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But that wasn't my last pick. My last pick...
This is the honorable mention, I'm assuming?
No.
All
this is a must watch.
Must watch.
If there's any Chinese New Year film or any Chinese film in general from Hong Kong, this is a must number one watch on my list. The God of Cookery. Which is Cao Xingqi. I think it's one of his best films to date.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes. Forget Shaolin Soccer, forget Kung Fu Hustle. If you haven't seen The God of Cookery, you truly haven't experienced a true gem of Hong Kong cinema.
I completely forgot about this film.
Hong Kong Cookery essentially follows this very obnoxious, loudmouth chef who believes he's all that. And then when his world comes crumbling down due to like blackmailing and stabbing in the back, he must now relearn how to get back to where he was, but he learns it through the heart of food, through this woman who runs a fishball stall, a fishball noodle stall, and he learns the ways of what food truly meant to him and rises back to the top again. It's a film that was supposed to be remade in Hollywood with Jim Carrey, but it never came to fruition, and I'm very glad because this film, I think, stands the test of time. I watched it recently, like a couple of months ago. It still holds up. This film, honestly, find it. God of Cookery with Stephen Chow, or Chow Xing-chi as Hong Kong people know him. It is an absolute 100% in my book must watch.
I'm not condoning this, but you can find the whole film on YouTube.
You can find this film in whichever legal way possibles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't
Piracy is not good, kids.
Yeah, whatever you do,
No.
don't do piracy.
No.
Don't Google this and
No.
go look for God of Cookery on YouTube. No.
Seriously, pay for it.
Yeah.
It's worth every cent of it.
Okay.
Yes. And your last pick.
The last pick is not really a film, but a person.
Okay.
But you've been covering him extensively, which
Yes.
is Stephen Chow.
Yes.
When I was doing research for this episode, I realized I don't know much about Chinese New Year films.
Okay.
I have to be very, very honest with you.
I know more Chinese than you are.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
surprisingly, because I realized I don't watch a lot of Hong Kong films, nor do I watch a lot of Chinese films.
Okay.
However, I watch a lot of Taiwanese films
Okay.
that are not suitable for this episode, but more on Valentine's.
Okay.
Right? The last person I have on my list is Zhao Xingqi, right? Stephen Chow.
Yes.
And it's 3 films. Number 1 is CJ7.
Okay.
All right, this is a very, very classic film that kind of got people into plushies. If
Yeah,
you
everyone
remember.
had that CJ7 plush. I remember.
It's that CJ7 plush and that antenna on their
like Doraemon, like that.
helmet and
Yeah.
their cars and their bikes. I remember that.
Yes.
Kung Fu Hustle, of course, this is a show that is on everyone's top 5, top 10, top 3 list, right?
Yeah.
If you talk about Hong Kong films or like the gateway to Hong Kong comedy action, Kung Fu Hustle is right up there.
Yeah.
And also, last but not least, Shaolin Soccer.
Of course.
Right, Siu Lam Kung Fu. Right, so these are the 3 films that I have. There's no way of me placing them in like a top 1, top 2, top 3 because to me, these 3 films is kind of like my grassroots of the whole Chinese movie culture, right?
Okay.
Even if you don't know anything about Hong Kong films or like Chinese films in general, you definitely heard of Shaolin Soccer, you definitely heard of Kung Fu Hustle, and you might not hear of CJ7, but it's definitely one of those films that you can watch with your children, your family. It's a family film.
And there you go. Those are our Chinese New Year picks for your season this year. And the fact that this is coming out on Chinese New Year Eve means you have time at your reunion dinners or reunion lunches or whatever to put these on and just have a good time and watch. And last but not least, if you're looking for something more local and recent, there are 2 films that I do have to mention that I've watched recently. Money Games, which is coming out tomorrow, first day of Chinese New Year. It's a collaboration with Hong Kong and Malaysia. It's got Bobby Ao Yong and Eric Sang from Hong Kong with a bunch of Malaysian stuff. It's an action heist film based around online scams. That's surprisingly good watch. And the other one, which started off quite cringy, but then almost got me in tears by the end of it, is Bless Your Happiness. Bless Your Happiness. It's a local film. And like I said, it starts off very, very cringy, but in the middle of it, you start to realize, oh, this is a film about appreciating the people that's around you while they're still here and love and everything. Because it's about this guy who, during a family vacation, his wife is about to divorce him.
Is it Blooms? Blooms of Happiness.
Blooms of Happiness, yes.
Blooms of Happiness.
Did you find it? Yes, Blooms of
Blooms
Happiness.
of Happiness.
Yes. It's basically about this guy who's going through a bit of a divorce and then he has to hide it from his parents until after Chinese New Year. So they all go to a vacation together and they all get into an argument and he storms out and the mother chases after him and unfortunately gets hit by a car. And so he's trying to reverse that. And that's when the spirit of the lucky cat on his counter goes into people and says, you have 8 chances to get back your mother again through time travel. It's a very alternate take to like a Christmas Carol. Yeah, I would say this is a Christmas Carol.
But for CNY. I'm on GSC's website here, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at the synopsis of Blooms of Happiness and I find it very weird. They add the age of the actors next to their name.
Serious? 43.
Yeah, it's like Gao Zitian bracket 46 is going through a divorce with his wife Luo Sifen bracket 43 and also experiencing significant estrangement. I was like,
Just making sure that hey, it's legal age, okay? Just making sure they're married.
The actors may look old, but they're also legal.
Yes.
Right?
But yes, go and check out Blooms of Happiness and Money Games. That's coming out Choya, I think. Yeah, first day.
Yeah. Choya is what day?
First day, right?
Yeah, but people don't know, right?
I just said first day.
First day of
I said first day of Chinese New Year.
Date.
29th.
You
gotta let the audience do their own work, you know. We can't spoon feed them everything.
Yeah, damn lazy to find, man.
Hey, get them to do some work, man.
I'm actually very interested in Money Game.
Yes.
The summary is like, after successfully leading his team to crack a major fraud case, the leader of an anti-fraud society, Zheng Miaozu, uncovers an even larger conspiracy lurking in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just a gambling film, but it's like police.
No, it's high-paced action. It's a heist. Imagine Ocean's 11, but Malaysian version.
This is in cinemas now.
No. First day. First day of Chinese New Year.
Okay. This one is coming out on the first day.
Yeah, I think Blooms of Happiness is on the eve.
Right, okay.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, this actually looks
It does.
Yeah.
Later after this, you can check out the trailer, but it looks really good.
If you were to tell me this was a Hong Kong film, I will wholeheartedly believe you.
Yeah. But it's Hong Kong and Malaysia.
Yeah, right?
It was all partially filmed in Hong Kong. There are some Hong Kong scenes, but it's majority in Malaysia.
Oh.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that film a lot more than I expected.
Okay.
That's my number one pick for the Chinese New Year film this year in Malaysia.
I want to watch this too.
Yeah, go watch Money Games.
All right.
But thank you for watching. As always, you can check us out on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and of course YouTube at ClapperTalks.
And if you want to learn more about the Malaysian podcasting landscape, you can always go to www.renegadeplus.com or find us on Instagram at RRP Malaysia.
There you go. So until next time, once again, Kong Hei Fa Choi.
新年快乐.
Have a very prosperous, happy, and healthy Chinese New Year ahead of you.
You're married, right?
Yes.
My
No,
angpao.
you don't count. I am Nick Dorian.
And I don't get angpao.
Keep watching the movies.
3, 2, 1. I loved it.
Look at this.